So once the name is locked, we right away jump into this process. This slide right now is what is referred to as a mood board. Whenever you're conceiving a brand, a very good tool to use are benchmarks. The benchmarks shared by Hamza from all across the globe, we were not only gauging them on the digital arena only, we were also gauging them in terms of its packaging, its touch point, what does it feel like, what is the color like, and what are the reflections. Most of the benchmarks we were seeing were word marks. Now, what is a word mark versus a combination mark? If you see, let's say Coca-Cola is a word mark. It does not has any graphical representation, and it's just the word written in it. Whereas Pepsi is a combination mark. There's Pepsi written in a certain format, and then there is also this blob they are using. Some people call it the ball, some people call it the globe, which is that red and blue graphical representation. It can be used interchangeably as well. But from day one, in a mood board, we are trying to see the mood of the client per se. In this stage, it's more subjective in nature. We do have technical dispositions, but it's more subjective in nature, and we try to gauge as to what sticks and what does not. Although seemingly they are the same, they are poles apart in terms of their mood and the kind of need states they trigger or they attach themselves to. Our disposition by this stage was very simple. We'll go ahead with a word mark. Reason being, and the reason why we have these mock packages over there is we are very big on the fact that we call it primary touch point. So if a logo has to appear, let's say on a bottle, seeing it on screen only in terms of decision-making process is a bit of an injustice to the creative process. So you have to apply it on the possible primary application and then see. In this case, you'll see we were going in two different directions. One was more playful, more color-oriented, and the other was more powerful, more fire-oriented. Fiery would be a nice term, right? Exactly how generally late teenagers are, right? They're more experimental, more adventurous. Either you trigger an already existing mood of your target audience, or you induce a certain mood. So I'll give you a very simple example. There are certain sports brands, let's say, in the market. As soon as I say their name, something psychologically triggers in you to be more active and more sporty and whatnot, right? Whereas they are more cozy, we call them comfort brands or comfort foods and whatnot. As soon as we hear them, will be more docile. So these are triggered, like these are inducing brands. So it's a very nice healthy balance that either you target an already existing mood or you induce a certain mood. In this case, since we were trying to make a new category and market of our own, we were trying to, enforce is a very strong word. I would rather say we were trying to wrap a new layer of certain mindset with regards to the snack, because our idea was people are not just buying the product, they are also buying the brand, which is still true to the ethos of the brand. And this is where it gets interesting. This was greenlit by Hamza out of all these different options of potential word marks. So this is where we start off with a very initial process, and then we go towards conversions and we come up with more specific.
I have a question to both of you. Tell me a little bit about the decision to go with that type of packaging. When I say type of packaging, I mean medium. Because you can see on the screen, right? So there's 3-4 different types of packaging, not different branding styles or packaging styles.
This was just an exercise to show
what
how
it would
look on different packages, but we knew that we wanted to go into the pouch.
Was there any reason for that? Or
Is
that the norm?
It's the norm and it's the industry standard.
Okay, interesting.
And from our perspective, we do not, at this stage, we do not touch packaging. Packaging for us comes at the very last stage, where we decide, okay, what kind of, are we going with matte, gloss and whatnot. These are just reference points to showcase that
how the actual end result would look like.
Yeah, and potentially if you did choose to go with that different type of packaging.
Exactly.
By this stage, one thing was set on stone was we are going all caps. And I would not go into the details of it as to why though, but all caps and in a certain typeface. From this week, and this is where we start going towards the actual, what it could look actually, right? And these are just mocks we showcase. By this stage, our key decision was, are we to go with white predominantly or black? But after seeing these, the idea was we'll go with, and I'll come to that later on, we'll go with black. So by this stage, the general look and feel was done, and we were like, okay, we are going with blacks. But here was, if you have noticed, here there is a very interesting transition which is happening. And from brand case study point of view, I have to mention this. This is where, when we started indulging more in the brand, we got to know that this brand would, potentially in the future, would house different product categories which are within the extruded snack brand realm, so different verticals. So this is where the question came, do we separate those products as separate brands, or do we bring them or converge them into a singular arena? And this is where it got interesting, that we would rather have house of brand sort of a approach, where we are having certain product types with a certain brand name, and this is where, again, all of these are proof of concept at the moment. So we are just telling them what it could potentially look like, what it feels like.
For different lines of products.
For different lines of products.